usher. Follow these steps and soon you'll be on your way to an exciting career that features challenging tasks like
the gist of Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare is a nod to the parks ride that was here many years ago. It closed in 2002, and everybody said, we want this back. It's gone through many iterations over the years, but we finally decided to partner with Sally Dark Rides to bring Phantom Theater back to life. So familiar characters are inside the ride. The storyline's a little bit different. We're actually making our guests and our riders interact with the story now, whereas before, the old Phantom Theater, you just rode through it and experienced the scenes and what was going on inside. So what's happening is you're here on the opening night of Phantom Theater, and something goes horribly wrong when lightning strikes, okay? Everyone's getting ready for the performance, the opening performance. Lightning strikes, the pipe organ releases ghost notes, and these ghost notes are all over the theater. And you are all ushers helping No Legs Larry over there capture all those ghost notes to put them back in the pipe organ so the performance can start on time. So that's kind of the overall story. In this room though, this is the last part of the queue. So when guests come in from outside, this will be the last room they're in, and this is their first taste of two of our main characters. No Legs Larry, the usher on your right, and above our heads, the Maestro, who is the man leading the performance, and he's at the pipe organ playing throughout the ride. And Lauren's gonna kind of talk through what this part of the performance is, and we'll actually turn the lights off, we'll turn these guys on so you can see what they actually do, and get the first look at them in action. So.
Yeah, well, welcome to the theater, everyone, or maybe back to the theater if you were here in the 90s. This is an incredible project to be a part of. Sally Dark Rides has been doing this for about 50 years, and coming back here is really like coming back home. We've been in this building since 2003, if any of you remember Scooby-Doo, and then of course Boo Blasters on Boo Hill, which ran for 15 years. And now it's time to bring the most incredible dark ride that you guys have had in your history back in a big way. So Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare will be debuting in just about a month's time. Right now we are fully in construction mode, so we will be able to play these characters for you, but one note is that these are programmed to our IAPA script, so they aren't going to be saying the things that you'll hear when you come back in a month and ride the ride. And they'll be playing from a couple different speakers. So we're still fine-tuning, we're still installing, but we did want to allow you guys to catch a glimpse of them. As Tony mentioned, the Maestro here is practicing to debut his new Terror toccata in D minor, and inviting us back during a thunderstorm, a bad one. So the lightning strikes, it hits the organ, and these ghost notes go flying. It is our job as ushers that are helping No Legs Larry to help reel those ghost notes back into the organ. If you've been a part of this attraction over the last few years, you've played a game and you've been interactive, and that's what guests of Kings Island have come to love and families have really come to enjoy. So we're bringing that aspect back to this ride, and it's no longer just a passive experience, but an interactive one where you can kind of play a role in the story. So I think we'll dim the lights and show these guys off.
Yep. Dim the house lights.
Well, it was enough to make you blast your boo. But every so often, a rift occurs in the mortal veil, and talents like mine are allowed to perform once again.
In other words, we're back in business. Show business.
Indeed.
There's no business like show business. No business I know.
Hi, I'm Abby Tony Gundo with Attractions Magazine, and I'm here with, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, Tony Carvellano. I'm the park manager and vice president of operations here at Kings Island.
We're here at the Phantom Theater with the preview. Would you be able to explain why, instead of just updating the technology for Boo Blasters, you decided to transition into Phantom Theater?
Yeah, a couple reasons. You know, I think Boo Blasters ran a long time, and every attraction, you know, really does have a life, you know, shelf life or a lifespan. And as we kind of looked at all the things we've done in the past and what's so nostalgic to Kings Island and what has been Phantom Theater, it's something that people bring up all the time. We put the show in at our theater called Phantom Theater Live. And after we did that, and we knew that Boo Blasters, we had an opportunity to bring back such an iconic brand that's Kings Island owned, and like I said, with such nostalgia, it just made all the sense for us to kind of put that back in here. And what an exciting time to work with Sally Darkride with what you're seeing right here, just in the lobby as guests come in here and wait. Before it was just a queue line with some theming, and you had Maestro up here before, but now they're really talking to you and they're prepping you for what's going to be an incredible experience to open up the show opening nightmare.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And what can guests expect to stay the same, and what can they expect to have a completely different experience?
Yeah, I think the characters and the actors are familiar, right? We had Maestro, No Legs Larry, and some that they'll experience throughout the attraction. What's different? We've got some new characters. You know, I think we were able to work with Sally Darkride and introduce some new folks and new scenes, and you know, some new opportunities in there to interact and experience with these actors. The technology is obviously completely different, right? Like, we didn't have the interactive experience before, and now you've got you know, this technology where you've got to get the ghost notes, and we're kind of unveil that on how that works and what's going to happen as guests enter as we open up the doors for this. But so much different than the first go around, because it's the technology is greater, and the experience is just amazing.
So could you walk us through the creative process of this and how it's different from creating a whole new ride, as this ride was here about 25 years ago?
Sure, yeah, this really was not starting from scratch. You know, this we had a story in place, one that fans loved, and so we had to honor that original story, bring back those original characters that so many people remembered, but with a new twist. So we wanted to keep the interactivity that guests have enjoyed for the last 25 years in this space, but also pay homage to the original. So we took that storyline, we shook it up a bit, but you'll still have that nostalgic feel. You'll still recognize many of these characters in these moments, but now with a little interactive twist.
Yay! And obviously this ride has not been updated for 15 years because Boo Blasters has been here for so long. How has the technology changed since the Boo Blasters and now switching to the flashlights?
Sure. I mean, a lot is going to be different from Boo Blasters. You know, Boo Blasters was a style of attraction that used black light and a lot of flats to create the experience, much like Disney's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, or basically many rides in Fantasyland. That's kind of a style of dark ride. This one is going to be a lot more, have a lot more depth. These characters are 3D. These scenes are lavish and incredibly immersive. You're going to have a whole new ride experience than ever before. So that the kids that have been riding Boo Blasters for the last 15 years, they're going to have a really different experience when they walk in here, but still a family experience. They'll enjoy it from the second they walk into this building. They'll be immersed in theming and story. And when they get off the ride, they're guaranteed to be talking about it the rest of the night.